have my money ready. It's a crazy world, and I need that money ready.
Welcome back to Houston Life. The process of buying a home can feel overwhelming, especially when it comes to financing. Our next guest has more than 30 years of experience helping home buyers navigate the process and finding loan options that work, even for freelancers, self-employed folks, or others with non-traditional incomes. Please welcome mortgage expert and author of How to Get a Mortgage When Your Tax Return Says No, Rich Bond of Habayet Home Loans. Welcome to Houston Life. You know, during the break, I've been chatting with you a mile a minute. This is a critical thing because for freelancers or small business owners, they can be locked out of getting a loan because a lender looks at it and says, hey, you have a low taxable income and you can't get a loan, even when they can clearly afford that home.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is really important to me. You know, I used to say I come from a line of small businessmen, but I'm 6'4" and you see me. So now I say I come from a line of entrepreneurs. And this has been my family's thing, is that they've always had that struggle of trying to get mortgages. And a lot of my friends are self-employed. In fact, you know, over 36% of the United States is self-employed, and that's not counting the folks who are in the gig economy like Uber, or who got their own cottage industries, or who are doing things on eBay. So you've got all these folks who are self-employed and they're locked out of traditional lending because most of your big box lenders just don't understand. And we've been able to specialize and help the folks that are basically the fabric of our community, the ones who are creating jobs, participate in the American dream.
Absolutely. I was a freelancer for a long time. I was getting paid on 1099s. When you mention big box lenders, you're talking about banks, right? If people are going to a bank, that bank could say no, and maybe you think, oh, wow, I have no options. How is your process different?
So not only banks, but also like some of your major retail lenders that you see, the ones that are sponsoring stadiums and stuff like that, they only can sell what they can sell. We work with over 170 different lenders that each have their own unique niches. So what we do is we invite people in, or we meet with them on Zoom, or last resort, we're going to have a phone call with them. We don't believe that you should entrust your largest purchase to an anonymous web link. We want to talk to you and find out how your business works and figure out how we can structure things for you and use your advantages of being a cash flowing business owner to help you achieve your goal of home ownership.
Let me ask you, Rich, as people are preparing for this process, do the traditional rules and documents still apply? Like, should I be thinking about my credit score? Should I be gathering my bank statements or my 1099s or whatever financial info I have?
So always, yes, think about your credit score, because your credit score not only helps you in your mortgage, but in so many other places. Traditional documents, yeah, we want to take a look at them. We want to figure out the most easy way for you to qualify. But if your tax returns don't work, we've got other programs. We can use your bank statements, 1099s, a CPA prepared profit and loss statement. We can use all these different ways to help people get into houses when their banker said, no, man, I can't help.
And when the banker says, no, I can't help us understand the confusion that a lot of people might have. People might say, hey, I'm not going to go through a broker because that's going to cost more money. That is absolutely not the case, right?
That's absolutely not the case. Remember, when you're working with a broker like us, you're not paying to endorse stadiums. You're not paying to have commercials on TV. You're paying just for a small staff. You know, we're a staff of 4 people. My wife, I've got a marketing person, I've got my assistant, I got my processor, and me. That's it. It's very low overhead, so you're not having to pay bloated overhead of large corporations, and you're getting an expert that lives and breathes and wakes up excited about your mortgage.
And again, you're going to be taking that customer's application, shopping it around to, did you say 170 different lenders?
We can work with up to 170 different lenders. We kind of know the different lenders' niche, so that this way we know that if you're coming to us and this is your scenario, we've got these 15 lenders that are probably going to be the best ones for you, and we'll check with them first. But then, for example, we worked with this family. They had worked in the same industry for many years and recently bought their business back last December. Everybody said no. They were even turned down by 4 mortgage brokers aside from their banks. They came to us. It was the last option. We said, okay, hey, we've got this first loan that we can do for you, and let us keep looking. Within about 30 days, they had closed on their new home that they were afraid they weren't going to be able to get. And this enabled them to move to Texas because we went that extra step and asked those extra questions that most people don't make the time for.
That's got to be really satisfying for you to help people get into a home. Again, a big deal, like a big box to check in the journey of life.
Well, it is, and it's a way that we're able to help people build the American dream. It's a way that we can help people build generational wealth, pull people out of generational poverty, and help them just become even fuller participants in society.
Well, and I think to underscore the idea that every situation is different, right? Maybe you drive Uber on the side, but you're also an artist or a teacher. There is a solution for most people out there. Let's talk, because we have only about a minute left. What are some of the things we should not do? If I'm thinking about buying a home, should I go out and buy a car or apply for another loan or open a new credit card? I mean, people do these types of things all the time, and sometimes that one thing can blow their chances.
Don't overdraft your checking account, especially if you're using your earnest money. Don't overdraft your checking account. Don't apply for new credit. Don't change jobs. Don't change industries. Don't change companies. You want the bank to see stability. Banks like stability because stability is what they feel is going to help them get repaid.
Yeah, well, and it's something little. Maybe I bought a house, so yeah, I'm going to quickly buy a car, and then the loan doesn't close. That's a problem.
You know, one of my friends once had a customer who's like, hey man, I want to buy a refrigerator. They've got this great sale, but we're going to close next week. And this realtor friend of mine said, I hope you like the box. And I was like, what? I hope you like the box, because if you get this refrigerator, it could make your loan not qualify, and then you're going to be living in the box.
Even something like a refrigerator, and
Yeah.
people don't consider that. Hey, listen, I do want to point out that this was your last book, Buy a Home, Be a Hero. You can find that online. The new book, How to Get a Mortgage When Your Tax Return Says No. Again, solutions for all kinds of people out there. If you've been denied a loan before, call this guy, Rich Bond. Thank you so much for stopping by
Thank
Houston
you.
Life.
It was a great time.
Interesting conversation. I wish we had more time, but we'll see you again. And in the meantime, for more info, you can visit this website, howtogetamortgage when your tax return says no.com, or you can call Rich and the Habayet Home Loans team at 281-841-1723.